Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I have the introduction to my makeup and book project pan that I started last year. So I created this project pan. First I called it Pan Your Book, then I kind of changed it up and called it the Makeup Panners Book Club, because it's basically a book club where we talk about books and we talk about makeup that we're panning that somehow is connected to the book that I'm reading. So why did I create this project? I had a goal last year to read more books, and I felt that if I put it into like make a project pan out of it, I will be more forced to read the books, because it will be too embarrassing to have updates and, you know, have no progress in the books that I'm reading. I also have this like bigger grand project of spreading, you know, awareness about readers. We need to show that we are reading, because like globally reading is declining. There are many Swedish youngsters, teens that don't understand what they're reading, and it's a threat to democracy. So I feel like we need to be visible readers out there. And what fun things to do but to read and talk about makeup, right? So this is my first, my introduction to the Makeup Panners Book Club for 2025. What am I doing in this project? I talk about the book that I'm currently reading, and then I select items that I want to pan that somehow, you can somehow like see the connection between the makeup item and the book. So I did pick between like 1 to 5 items. For this introduction I'm bringing in 3 items, and then like depending on the goals I set, maybe I will have some items remaining, or I will be able to roll shit out. It's just fun. So I'm not gonna talk more about the rules. The rules are very open, very free for anyone who wants to also talk about makeup and books. But what books am I reading currently? What are my like introduction? What book is my introduction book? And I thought, because I'm actually currently reading 2 books. I'm reading these 2. And I was like, what do I do here? Which book do I pick? I have obviously the brand spanking new Onyx Storm. Have read thus far, so I do have some ways to go. I'm also reading Kindred by Octavia Butler, and I think, for the sake of not spoiling shit from this book, I'm gonna be nice and I'm going to have makeup items that correspond to this book. But Onyx Storm is obviously the 3rd book in the Empyrean series about Violet and dragons and Satan and everything. If you have not read Fourth Wing, the first book, do it. It's so good. It is. I don't know. I'm obsessed. So I'm not gonna spoil this book for those of you who haven't read it, or who are, you know, catching up to the hype. But yeah, this book series is absolutely worth the hype. I'm just saying. So the other book that I'm reading, Kindred by Octavia E. Butler. This is a book written in the 70s. Octavia E. Butler was a black author who wrote sci-fi, dystopian novels and so on. She won like the Hugo Awards. Very famous, and I have been wanting to read this book. I also have her other book, The Parable of the Sower, that I also want to read. But I am starting with this one because this is what we're reading in my book club that we have at work. I was able to pick, and I decided to go with this one. So this is Kindred. It's a time travel novel, like sci-fi. It's about Dana, and she finds herself like very early on. I haven't read much in this book, but like I think it's in the first chapter. She is transported back to a different place in Maryland, a plantation in Maryland, where she sees this boy he is drowning, and she saves this little boy. And then like the story is about her being brought back to the 19th century Southern America, and she's always brought back when this boy, his name is Rufus, when he is in danger in some way. So she is trying to figure out, why am I brought back to save this white boy at this plantation? What is my purpose here? That is how far along I am. But I am really intrigued by it. It is quite like, it starts up, you're just smack down in the storyline. It's not a slow build up by any means. So happy to be starting on this one. And I have 3 items that I picked that correspond to this book. I did also, now when I started reading this, is the image from the TV show. I think it was released in 2021 or something. I want to see it, but I obviously want to see it after I've read the book. So, what am I then going to talk about? What makeup have I chosen that somehow correspond to this one? Or it doesn't have to be just makeup, it can be beauty, perfume, or, as I have, chosen a nail polish. So, I chose this nail polish by Mooncat. It's a purple holographic nail polish. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's not what's on my nails today. But this nail polish is called What's My Purpose? And I feel like it's perfect because we still don't know why is she brought back to, like, basically slavery America. Why is the protagonist brought back to save this boy over and over again? What is her purpose? That's my first item. Then I also did pick a lipstick. This is by Fenty Beauty, and it's the, I don't remember what shade this is. This is a very, very dark, plummy shade. It is loose at the base, which is very annoying. It's also super, or quite old, and it has started to smell. So this is an item that I want to finish this year. However, I'm not gonna have the goal of my life to finish it in this project, because it's going to take a while, but I think since it's January, I need to start thinking about how I want to use this. So I'm going to roll it in for 20 uses to kind of see, can I use this as a blush, and to just get a head start, because it is something I want to finish. If I'm not finishing it this year, I'm still going to, like, I need to get rid of it because it is starting to smell. And why am I bringing this lipstick in? Well, it is because Fenty Beauty is a black-owned makeup brand, and Octavia E. Butler, she was a black author. There we go, that's the connection. So that is my goal. And then finally, I thought I was pretty clever here. I am going to bring in an eyeshadow. This is the Unearthly Cosmetics Rudo Rwaamai collaboration palette. It's very, very colorful. And the reason I'm bringing this one in is because I'm going to work on this shade. It's called Amai Vangu. And this eyeshadow shade is the 1815th eyeshadow in my spreadsheet. I have a spreadsheet where I list every single eyeshadow in my collection, and this one is the 1815th. And this is the year 1815 is the year she is brought back to. She is actually brought back to some years before, but when she asks, because I think it's the second time she goes back in time, she asks this white boy, what year is it? And he says it's 1815. So I thought, I'm very clever here. I'm picking the shade that is in my spreadsheet that corresponds to that year. And that is this very, very dark pink. I kind of want to hit pan on this one. It's probably going to take a lot of effort. And this is super, super pigmented. And it's a matte shade. But I do want to hit pan, I think. See me regret this in 4 months' time when I'm still like working on this. But I want to hit pan in my Unearthly palettes anyways. They were severely neglected last year, so I do want to get some more use out of them. So we're gonna try. We are going to try. It might be a mistake. Maybe if I'm like in 6 months, if I still don't have pan, I can roll it out. But the goal is to hit pan. So that is the quick brief update or introduction to this project. I am so excited to bring this project back. I was so good last year. I think I read 39 books throughout the project. I did read 41 books last year in total. I had 2 books that wasn't part of the project, but I am so stoked because I did not read 40 books the year before. So my mission to read more, my goal, I absolutely nailed it, and I am so excited to read both of these. Like, I'm so stoked for my 2025 reading journey. Please let me know what you think about this project. Are you reading? What are you currently reading? I always love to hear from you in the comments, so say hi, let me know, give me inspiration to what books to read, and yeah, that is going to wrap it up. I hope that you are all well, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!